Okay, Mike Masato, CEO of Staff Driven Dental and the Dental Road Warrior, returning for episode 89 in this series. So today a little inspiration that just came to me driving, so I thought I'd shoot this one out to everyone, because you ever have one of those days when it feels like you're being tested? We all have those days, right? It feels like you're on camera somewhere, right? There's a hidden camera somewhere and you're being tested for some kind of strange, alternate universe game show. It reminds me of The Truman Show. If you haven't seen The Truman Show, it's a movie, good movie to watch. And when it's the same kind of concept we're talking about here. It's almost like, is my life on film? Am I here to entertain people? Am I being challenged or tested to pass some kind of test? Like every day, there could be a day like where you walk in the office and it feels like whether it's the patients or whether it's the staff, you're being tested. Yeah. And what do you do with that? It's very easy to go off the rails when you get tested like this and just lose it. All right. And when you do that, unfortunately, it's just further diminishing returns for your day, because obviously if you lose it, how you go so goes to practice, and the tendency is that we lash out at different people, and we're not on our game, and we're not in the best state of mind, and we're aggravated and annoyed, and these are not good states of being when you're operating during the course of a day. So really, when you're being tested, the question to ask yourself, are you equal to the task? Because this is what really separates weak leaders from strong leaders, is to be able to hold it together, stay the course, not lose your what right, when you're basically challenged on this stuff, because it's part of the game. It's part of what happens in practice. I've said many times too, it's not the clinical challenges you face every day, and we're faced with clinical challenges from time to time, but that's what our training's there for. Your dental training's there for you to help you through these clinical challenges, and you consult your colleagues or whatever. You go back to your training, get help, whatever, but you work through it, and it's a challenge with a lab or challenge with something with a specialist, you work it out, you get through it. Unfortunately, when you're dealing with people, it's not that automatic. It's not that cut and dry, right? Because there's a lot of variables when we're dealing with human beings. So really, the skill you want to develop is how to be able to handle what comes at you from people, right? And that's a big skill to get. And I spent my life trying to get better with dealing with people, because as a coach and coaching my coaches, this is what they're dealing with. It's not that the material that we train is not good, or the ideas and the concepts is not good. It's the dealing with people and how they're going to respond, how they're going to react, and from all this kind of stuff, and that's what we deal with every single day. So here it is for you. A true sign of greatness, how you see, how if you want to measure, one of the true signs of greatness, to measure how great you are, is to love your fellow workers, your fellow human beings, your fellow patients, right? Despite every reason why they give you not to, right? And that's the challenge. That if you can get to that point in your life, in practice, is to really love your fellow man, and despite every reason why they give you not to, and they give you a lot of reasons, right? You've arrived. You've gotten to another level of consciousness out there in practice, and that's really what I'm talking about here. Because really, the goal as a leader in practice, whether it's you if you're a manager watching this, or you as a doctor, is to try to bring out the best in people, right? That's what it's all about. How do you get the most out of your people? How do you bring out the best in the people that are around you? Right? And that's really when you're winning the game. Because when you bring out the best in people, they're winning for you, they're producing for you, they're putting money in your pocket. Things go well when you bring out the best in people, and especially when the chips are down. So when you're having a rough day and having a real challenge, and it feels like I said your whole life's a movie, that's really the test, to really be able to rise above it all and be greater than being mired down in all the crap of the day, and being because that's what's sending you down that path, and it's like if it becomes like a day after day kind of thing. It never ends. You can declare done, rise above it, and be better than it, right? Because really your job is to bring out the best in people. But if you're not your best self every day, right, you're not your best person you can possibly be in interacting with these people every day, the whole thing falls apart, right? Because it really, again, I've said it many times, the whole thing starts and ends with you, right? This is your game, it's your office, you're creating it or not creating it every single day. You're winning and losing depending upon how you're going. How you go, so goes to practice. Remember that. And another thing to remember too is all of human relations and all human relationships boil down to public relations. And if you have good public relations with people, right, and you have that winning personality, You know, I met a woman at a front desk yesterday, and when I walked into an office, and she had just telling me she was brand new to a practice. She only been there a couple of months, and I think she came from a plumbing supply company, right? But no dental experience whatsoever. But I got to tell you, this woman was personality plus, friendly, outgoing, you know, positive. And I watched her answer some phones, and you know what, she really wasn't fantastic in handling the dental specific stuff, or maybe I could have coached her on how to basically handle the dental inquiry a little better. But because she had such great PR skills with people, didn't matter what she didn't know. She could make up for it in personality and go get the answer later on. You know, and people were just scheduling or doing what she asked them to do because she just was so good at how she was with people, you know, and how welcoming she was when I walked into the office, and creating that great energy when I walked into the practice and whatever, as a guest of the practice. That's what you look at. That's the kind of person you want. But docs, you have to be that person too, because like attracts like. So if you're more like that every single day, guess what? You're going to attract more people like that. And go figure, the doctor who I met was just like that. And she had a whole team of phenomenal people with great personality, great PR skills. And I'm going to tell you, they weren't the best highly trained team you'd ever meet. A lot of these people did not go to assisting school. I mean, the hygiene school, but she had a phenomenal personality too, right? And she was a seller, right? So she understood they all understood the concept without even knowing this concept, that all of human relations is a public relations game, you know. And you know, they got hit. They were talking about the challenges they had, but they were rising above it, you know, and all the negative stuff that we're coming out of it, and just getting back to the practice and turning a positive into a negative into a positive, coming back and getting back out of the COVID shutdown, right? So you guys, you can create that. It's a change of attitude. It's a change of mindset, a change of philosophy. It's not just doing dentistry. It's not just showing up and going through the motion with any crap attitude. That's not going to cut it, right? And I've seen this so many times, doctors sabotaging themselves and their days because their attitudes, and how their attitude is, and it's a bad attitude, you know, bad energy, you know, getting twisted because they're getting hit with stuff from people. Look, it comes with the territory, right? When's the last time people haven't been crazy in your practice, right? I mean, come on. I've said this before. What do you do? Your patients, they're lovely people. We love them to death. But for the most part, they're all nuts in their own way. They're just a little crazy in their own way. And you have to understand the quirks of people, the craziness of people, you know, rise above it, understands it comes with the territory, right? And win because of that, right? So remember this. Again, I'll repeat it one more time. You want to measure how great you are as a person, how great you are as a leader, right? True sign of greatness is to love, you know, and deal with and tolerate, you know, and the people that are around you, in spite of every reason why they give you not to. Okay, words to live by. They'll make your life a lot easier in practice, a lot happier in practice, a lot more fulfilled in practice. That's what it's all about, too. It's quality of life in practice we're talking about here, folks. You know, and quality of life goes a long way. You can't put a dollar value on quality of life, although you should. I wish there was a way to measure that quality of life and what it's costing you not to be in that state every day. All right. Well, hope these words were helpful to you. Hope they provided some insights. Light bulb went off, and please continue watching and sharing these videos. I'll be back with another one before you know it. Thanks.